ahead and just build one of these from scratch. So with data discovery, there's some people think of self-service BI as being purely data discovery. Again, I think it encompasses more than just that, kind of the ad hoc business query as well as interactive reporting. So here, if we wanted to go ahead and create a whole new document, right? So I open up the tool, desktop client, hit new document, and we'll go ahead and grab a universe. So we'll select our universe here. It's going to make me authenticate with the system. Again, just confirming what universe we want. Yep, I'll take that one. Oops. And hit next. Call it sales analysis, that's fine. And so this is going to, again, we're connecting to a universe. And so whatever elements have been defined in that universe, in this case, again, it's also over sales data. So we'll have, customer information and go to our sold to, maybe we want our sold to name, we want our state, country. We go down here to, let's say, some address category codes, maybe our channel, our region, sales rep. Go down to, let's say, sales, looking at our product group, subgroup, and product. We go in and we can pull just in the sales, extended amount, gross profit, quantity. There's also these time-based calcs. So inside the universe, there's already this innate, we built in the logic to prompt for a through date. And based on that through date, we can calculate things like today, yesterday, week to date, month to date, quarter to date, current year, prior year. So if we go to extended amount, current year, year to date, just double click on that and look at our prior year, year to date. We want to do the same thing for gross profit. We want to bring our current year, year to date, prior year to date, and maybe quantity ordered. Current year, year to date, and prior year to date. You can go in and grab an element as well. So let's say that we want to go to our order information here and grab our company and filter down on our company or something. So we can grab company, just drag that into our query filters. And we can go to pull up a list of values. We can make it a prompt. And we'll go out there and find what are the available companies for me to select. So we'll grab our company, choose OK. We can also add another filter as well. And you also have in the universe predefined filters. In this case, we've already got some time-based filters that calculate year-to-date, quarter-to-date, month-to-date, here's year-to-date last 2 years. So we can go ahead and just drag that in. We can change things, nest some ands and ors in our filter and so forth. So once we've got the items that we want, we'll hit Finish. And one of the strengths about this, we're about to put a through date because we have, okay, year-to-date through which date. So I want to make that be my through date, hit Next. So right now, it's actually, through what I've selected from the universe, it's created a query that's hitting the database and going to return that back to my canvas. Okay. So now we've got our data, okay, and now we can say, okay, these are what you've selected, and let's go ahead and start maybe getting something into our canvas. So let's say we wanted to see a bar chart by product group. So if I go ahead and drag product group, and we want to look at our extended amount. All right, so that's our year-to-date extended amount. Maybe look at comparing that to our prior year. Okay. We can also go ahead if we want to see that maybe, again, as a column chart instead of a bar chart. We can do that. We can go ahead and hit plus. Maybe we want to see our total sales broken down by customer. So I'll bring in our sales. We'll bring in our customer. And instead of seeing that as a bar chart, maybe we want to see that as a donut. And now we want to go ahead and see that with values displayed, show data labels. Okay. Let's go ahead, add something else. Maybe we want to see let me get back to this guy here. What if we wanted to actually see that? We'll duplicate this. So we can actually copy one visual and then slightly change it if we want. In this case, maybe we want to trellis this by channel. So we go find our channel and drag that into our rows. You can see here how we can actually see each of our channels and the breakdown. Maybe instead of trellising that by rows, we can drag that into columns. Same kind of thing, how you can kind of get different visuals of your data. Let's go back here and look at, what if I want to see something by geography? And if you have a hierarchy of geography, let's say country to state to city, in this case we've got our country and our state. So if I go ahead and just click on this gear next to the country, I can create a geographic hierarchy by names, and we'll select country, and for our region we'll grab our state and choose confirm. It's going to go there and say, okay, these are your countries and these are the states. Here's what's been resolved as viable states within that country given the data. So we choose done. Okay. So if we want to take this tab, and I can tab the different types of geographic charts, but in this case I want to do a Geo Pie Chart. Okay. And we'll look at dragging our geography in there. Okay. And we'll look at this by our maybe gross profit. Okay. And I need a second color because it's a pie chart. So maybe we want to see our pie charts based on product group. Okay. So we've got there one pie for the country as a whole. We'll click on that. Let's take a look at it by region instead. So now we can kind of see that geographic pie, and just mousing over it'll give us the values for each of those and the different size pie given the different amount of gross profit. The other thing you can do is if we go back to our chart here, right? This was by product. Right? If we wanted, let's say, create a product hierarchy and then modify this, we can go ahead and by just clicking on, let's say, on like our product group, click on the gear, we can create a custom hierarchy. So we'll call this, so maybe we want the values to be a product group, product subgroup, and product. Okay. And we'll give this a product hierarchy. Okay, and create. So now what we can do is replace our product group with this new hierarchy. So now when we do that, if we wanted to go ahead and we click on any of these values, right, we can drill, let's say, look in mobile and drill down, and actually drill into the chart. Now I can see mobile broken down by, you know, the different categories that we've identified. Okay, so you can drill down, drill up. So that's how, again, you could do some drill. You can also do calculations here as well. So here we brought in gross profit, dollars, and extended amount. But what if we want to create a gross profit percent calc? So we go in here and we can create a calculated measure. And we'll call this gross profit percent. Current year, year to date. We'll grab our gross profit current year to date divided by our extended amount year to date and choose OK. And then on any of these values that are there, we can go in and just change the formatting. So in this case, we want to see this as a percentage, maybe with 1 decimal place. So if we go now, since we have a gross profit, we can also do things like maybe look in something on a multiple axis, combined column line chart, or actually maybe 2 axis. So we want to pull in maybe our gross profit, and we want to look at our gross profit percent maybe as a different axis. And let's pull in maybe, in this case, our sales rep. Okay. So now we can go ahead and right-click on those, show data labels. And then the other thing you can do, which is nice when you're going to do these kind of visualizations and you put all this together on a dashboard at the end, is kind of these ideas of kind of some key metrics. So in this case, we would grab our key metric here. And this is where you're just grabbing one measure. So look at like total revenue. You can just drag that in. Okay. You can duplicate that. In this case, we'll be looking at maybe our gross profit. Okay. And maybe looking at maybe our gross profit percent. Okay. So you kind of build these individual visualizations, and this also kind of covers some ad hoc. That might have already answered the question that you had in just kind of grabbing some data, seeing it slice and dice differently. But as we walk through from left to right, so prepare was when we grab what we needed from the universe. The visualize was kind of where we can kind of create our different visual elements. And then we can go to the compose tab, and we give this a story. We'll call this sales analysis. And we can kind of create some different templates. So they have kind of some things already set up if you want like an infographic or a slideshow or just some values or some text, or we can make a blank template and hit create. And at this point, we can actually now, we have this blank canvas, so we want to make sure we put a title at the top. We can grab our title and call this sales dashboard. Okay. We can go to our visualizations here and say, what if I wanted to see maybe my bar chart? And we can go and say, let's, on this bar chart, let's go ahead and not show our legend. All right, let's go ahead and add our pie chart next to that. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. Maybe get rid of our legend there. And we have that geography down here. Let's go ahead and drag that down into the canvas as well. Okay. And then there's also these input controls. So to make this more interactive, we can go and grab, let's say that's a product group, and just drag that into the canvas here. We want to make this maybe a list box instead of a combo box. Okay. Let's go ahead and maybe add our customer name. Make that a list box as well. Maybe go back and add our channel as well, our region or something. All right. So you kind of build these. You can add a different page. All right. So if we add a page and say, okay, in this case, I want to be based on this standard template instead of a so you can go, you'll see here they've got like some templates. So now we've got this as our, sales by product. And it just kind of gives you the places where to drag and drop the visualization. So in this case, again, we go here. Okay. Maybe in this case, we want to do these little key metrics. We can go and grab the value, change the size. Okay. And maybe look at, so we got our year-to-date sales. I don't have to belabor this anymore, but okay. So again, to preview this, so again, as a user, we can go ahead and go back here to our page 1. Okay. And so again, making these interactive, we can kind of mouse over, see the values. If we want to look at maybe just Costco as an example, we can click on Costco. It'll give us just our breakdown of just purely Costco sales. I want to look at Costco, Sam's Club, and Sears. Right. So we can kind of interact with the data. So this is how you kind of build. And then once you're done, you can save this back to the BusinessObjects platform. So I'll do set file. I'll do a save as, and go to the SAP BI platform, connect. And this is where you can then navigate to a location where you want to save this. And we'll call this like sales dashboard. And give it a time, we're not going to be able to go out there. But you can then now view that in the web, right, within the platform, just like the other reports that we were in earlier. You can schedule it. So you can have this be recurring. You can email the link to somebody to call it. So just another example